What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. We are doing Bitcoin Cash stuff as usual, man. Moving up, moving down. This would be as I've been going with my most recent videos. This would be one of the videos where I'd say we're gonna go up again. It looks good. It's been like that for like the last month now. But I am under the impression we're going to move lower. I really am. I don't know if we're ready to break out yet. I do think that we move down to about $200, $190 to $200. I think that range is still very much in effect. I think that we've yet to see the sell the news event from the ETFs being approved, and I think once the reality of the situation sets in, that we'll probably see some selling off. With that being said, we could pump up a little bit. We could see some excitement tomorrow because the ETFs, there are some ETFs getting listed tomorrow for like public use, public access. But that could also be where like the sell the news comes in play. But at first, initially, maybe in the beginning of the day, like the stock day tomorrow or today, depending on where you're watching it from. On the charts it is today, but we might see some excitement to the upside, and then followed by some swift downside action is what I'm thinking. But let's look at this thing on the daily. We're doing this at the request of Mohammed Arafa, or Arata. I think it's Arafa. Just neutral price action, man. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Very, very neutral price action. You're at an area that you found resistance. You found support here before. You're finding resistance now. That's not encouraging. You found resistance here. You found resistance here, here, even back here. You probably come back down. That's my genuine assumption. And I thought you were going to get it here. I thought you were going to start to get it, but that demeanor, that tone has changed over the last couple weeks. I think you're going to move lower. I really do. Not a lot to go off of on the RSI. You did reject the overbought zone, but you're holding these higher lows, which is not bad. Prove me wrong. Get a day to close above 270. Do that. Get a day to close above there, and I'll say, okay, it's back to the upside. And then once I say that, then it'll dump. But that's my opinion on BCH right now, man. I do very much believe that BCH has a lot of potential in it. You guys know, I think that it can see prices all the way above $13,000 this cycle. The reasoning for that, and I'm not just pulling numbers out of my ass here, is the reasoning for that is from top to bottom. You've got your 1618 all the way up here at $10,000, your 1886 all the way at $22,000. $13,000 is from this top, that's not the top, but from this top to bottom. $13,000 right there, right in between these two, and you have your 1414 lining up right with that 1886. $13,000 to $23,000 by the end of the cycle, man. And my reasoning for that, beyond just the extension levels in the Fibonacci's here from their macro high to low movements, is that I think that BCH versus BTC has bottomed out. I think that it's found its low for forevermore, if not for multiple cycles. BCH, in my opinion, has been suppressed for whatever reason. It's been suppressed, and it's been in kind of like a grand accumulation phase, man. It's had this opportunity. It's very much still alive. It's very much a project that is being developed and utilized all over the world, just not not in the Western Hemisphere, but the Eastern Hemisphere, I guess, more so. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, it's the better Bitcoin, man. It's better than Bitcoin. It really is. It's debatable on some points, right? It's not better in the sense of it has a smaller community, it has less money going into it, right? But there's still a lot of money going into this thing, man. It's definitely relevant, and it's a coin that nobody wants to see succeed. I say nobody. Obviously, the people watching this video and anybody who's invested in it, they want to see it succeed. But most people in crypto think of Bitcoin Cash as some scam coin, and it's like if you just gave it any kind of notion of acknowledgement at all, and you looked into it, it's not a scam coin. It's very much a real project. It's very much the better Bitcoin. It just is. It's cheaper. It's cheaper to buy, obviously, right now, but it's also cheaper to transact. It's more efficient at transacting. it's like it's literally better, man. It literally is. And because of that, I think it has more or less the same potential that BTC has, right? BTC, if we go back here, I know I haven't talked about this in a second, but we're at 255 right now for Bitcoin Cash, okay? If we go back all the way back to where, no, maybe I have to find the all-time history. All the way back here where Bitcoin itself, BTC, was in this range, it accumulated for a very, very, very short amount of time, right? In comparison to how long Bitcoin Cash has been in this range. And then it moved all the way up in one cycle. From the lows of 165, from the highs of 308. It moved up in one cycle. And I'm saying these lows, these highs, because this is like the area of accumulation before you broke out, really. Bottom of your bear market, right? Area of accumulation right there. All the way up to $20,000. BCH, first off, again, being the better Bitcoin, in my opinion, and it's also, there's a lot of fact to that as well. It's been accumulating in this area, below this area, for longer than where BTC was accumulating for. It accumulated longer at lower levels. It's been in this price area, like suppressed underneath $2,000 for a very, very, very long time, multiple cycles now, while promoting higher lows. I think that it's when this thing pops off, and it's going to be this cycle, and it's going to be soon, man, we're going to see, if not the same kind of price growth, close to it or more so, right? And that's why I think, again, going back to this idea that seeing, oops, I already have the fibs there, seeing $13,000 to $23,000, I know that sounds crazy to some people. We might be underselling it, man. Like the 1618, the all-time high to all-time low fib, the 1618 is all the way at $53,000. And if Bitcoin itself, I believe Bitcoin BTC can be worth over 400K by the end of the cycle. I think BCH could be worth over 20K, over 30K, maybe more than that. Maybe it does go all the way up here. But nonetheless, what I'm trying to say is big things, man. Very big things in store for it. But in the more immediate term, getting away from the ultimate hype euphoria that we all love, I do think it goes down. I think that we've run out of steam. We need to refresh the tanks, move down a little bit, right down here, right, where our previous low closing basis is, right there at about 190. Maybe we move to where our high basis was on this low area, right around 190 to 200. Fill up down here, fill up the tanks, load up, pack the saddles, man, strap it onto our dragons, and get ready to ride. I know that might have sounded a bit wrong. But if you're a dragon rider here, man, you know that I did not mean that in the way that it might have sounded, depending on how you might have taken that. And I'm going to leave it at that. Anyways, man, I think things look good in the middle to long term, but in the more immediate term, again, probably some downside. I really wouldn't expect that you go up higher, but if you do, I would attribute it to first day mania on these ETFs being promoted, being approved, being listed, and then after that, we're probably going to see this sell the news sell off come into play, and I do think that we'd see a lower low than that. Anyways, that's all I got. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.